Hello and welcome. So we're going to be talking about Venus retrograde. Venus retrogrades from the 19th of December 2021 all the way until the 29th of January 2022. So we are going into 2022 with the Venus retrograde, and Venus will be retrograding in the sign of Capricorn. This is a collective message for everyone. Okay, let's talk about Venus retrograde. Venus rules over love, beauty, romance, finances. When I think of Venus rules over everything that makes us feel good emotionally. The heart, it's about wanting to feel comfortable at home. It's wanting to feel comfortable with others. It's wanting to feel that, safety, security, passion even. That's the energy of Venus. Now, when Venus goes into retrograde, it's almost as if we are going through emotional renovation, where we are going through this renovation of our emotions. So everything that makes you feel good and how you relate. And when I say love, it's not just the kind of love when we talk about Venus that has to do about romance. It's family, it's friends, it's colleagues, it's how you relate to other people, it's how you relate to yourself, the love you have for yourself, the love you have for your career, your job, your passion, your hobbies. It's the love. That's the thing about Venus. It's that kind of love that where you feel good and your heart just swells and you feel, oh yeah. Now when Venus goes retrograde, it's almost like now we have to emotionally review the things that we felt good about, the people we felt good about, and how we even feel about ourselves. And this leads to self-doubt, especially because Venus is retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. It's looking for long-term stability. So say, for instance, you've been in a situation where this relationship has its ups and downs and it's taking me through the emotions, but we're working on it. Come Venus retrograde, especially because Pluto is also in Capricorn, and Pluto rules the Lord of the underworld, death and transformation. So if it can't transform, it needs to basically be done with. Death, the end, it's over. And this is oftentimes during Venus retrogrades where a lot of relationships come to an end. And this can be love relationships. People can go through breakups. People can have family relationships that, become difficult and, we no longer want to see each other, friendships, so forth, even work, and especially work because Venus is in Capricorn and Capricorn rules over work, career, our rewards, the things we receive for a job well done, that energy that is our reputation for everything we've put in, our sense of purpose. So this Venus retrograde is truly a renovation of our emotions and what we really feel and how deeply we feel and how we're connected to everything. And so like I was saying, if you're in a relationship that's been going through its ups and downs, be it a friendship, whether you're doubting it, the stability of it, this Venus retrograde will come. And it will really show you some things that put things into perspective and would even create the end, where things just come to an end, where things need to be let go of. And it can be emotional. Venus retrograde is also a time to look after our health. Why would you think the health? Well, guess what? What do we love? We love our bodies and what our bodies are able to do for us and how we take care of our bodies. And when Venus goes into retrograde, it can show us where we've been neglecting. What have you been neglecting? Have you been neglecting yourself? Have you been neglecting your job? Have you been neglecting your relationships? Where are you out of balance emotionally? And that's the Venus retrograde. It also brings to light any deceptions, any manipulations, power games. The list goes on for Venus retrograde and the things that it brings through, and especially where you can receive losses, in any kind of way because of whether you end relationships, whether people are no longer part of your relationship circle anymore, financially too. So what do we need to do during a Venus retrograde is protection work. Protecting ground, and see what the Venus retrograde is trying to teach you, because the Venus retrograde is trying to teach you something about your life and what you want to take forward into your life and what is of value. Remember, this Venus retrograde, because it's in Capricorn, it's looking for value. It's looking for integrity. It's looking for honesty. It's looking for stability. And I want to see those things are going to take me into the long-term future, not here and now. Venus retrogrades are terrible times to get into relationships because they often end. All right. Venus retrograde is not the best time to make large purchases. What would be best to do, especially anything new? You just see, and it's happening during the festive, right? So during the festive period. So basically, this is where we can buy gifts and things like that. Make sure you keep your receipts in case you need to return something. So that's the important thing to know about Venus retrogrades, where we can make large purchases that oftentimes that need to be returned. Maybe the device is faulty. That's a Venus retrograde. I've even experienced theft sometimes during a Venus retrograde. That's why I say protection work, and to be, grounded, look after your energy. Venus retrograde is a very important time to look after our energy and allow what needs to be cleansed and allow for beautiful new things to come into your life. That's the energy of Venus retrograde. It's a powerful, powerful transit. It happens every 18 months. And it's very powerful. And, from like a year and a half or so. The last one we had was earlier in May of 2020. So it happens basically within that time frame. And we need to basically, now that we're going through it, and we're going to be starting January, a lot of people feel after January tired, and maybe even now we've been having so many parties, and now we can feel a bit down. I've noticed during Venus retrogrades, they do make us feel emotionally down. They can bring up anxiety, right? Especially all the past stuff needs to be released. So we have memories of the past relationships, past experiences. Exes can come back, especially during a Venus retrograde. It rules over love and people you in relationships with, even friendships, families, so forth. And you're now in this situation where you're having to look back and deal with something you need to let go of and relook at it, review it, to let it go. So when I say this is an emotional renovation, that is a Venus retrograde. Is it a beautiful time? Yes, it's a beautiful time. As long as you, like I said, protection work is very important. What you do to protect your energy, wearing crystals, meditation, so forth. If you have candles that you light for protection, you are protecting and grounding your energy. It's so important, especially during a Venus retrograde, because there's a lot of manipulation and sometimes deceit and things we need to find out in order to know that this is not long term and we can't go forward no more. Relationships are built on solid, long-standing trust and integrity. Don't have this issue. They might have issues where they might find miscommunication, or maybe they both don't feel the same way about something, but it can be worked through. But relationships with major issues, in a sense, that need to be brought to light, friendship, especially colleagues, because like I said, Capricorn rules over our work life. So colleagues that we don't see eye to eye with, employers, anything like that, can be a time where we feel we just can't do it no more. And because Pluto is also in Capricorn, we just want to bring this situation to an end. So remember that, not a best time to get or start. Like, now's the time during Venus retrograde, let's start a new business. Not really, because ultimately, especially if it just came out of nowhere and you weren't working on it, and now you need to be taking time to consider your plans and be gentle with yourself. Work on the things you have been working on. Connect to the people you have been connecting with, especially people that are solid. Stability is the thing when we're talking about Capricorn. That's an earth sign, and it's taking us into long-term relationships with people. And that's the thing what this Venus retrograde is asking. What can we do, and who can we be with, and what can we work on that's going to take us long-term and not short-term? What is the best for us in the long term? And that's a difficult question a lot of times when you ask people, what is good for you long term? People are like, oh. And now we have, I'm just like, yeah, now, and I'm taking it day by day. But that's what this Venus retrograde is looking for. that long-term stability in every aspect of our lives. And emotion, if you're feeling down, take time out, rest, make sure you're eating well, sleeping well. Even what you are watching on television, news, make sure it is something that is basically making you feel good, because during a Venus retrograde, we can feel just like a lull, and we kind of be reminiscing, looking at old photo albums, finding letters, having dreams of people from the past. All of that energy is of Venus retrograde. It's another way of looking back. But a Venus retrograde makes us look back emotionally, and emotionally renovates for us. Like, we got to tear down those barriers. We got to tear down that because we're not seeing the truth here. Our vision is blocked, basically. So now we need to see this clearly so we can move forward. So this heart is clear, knows exactly what it wants and who it's dealing with and what it can take with it. So that's important about a Venus retrograde. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. Now's not the time to push others. Don't use that Pluto energy to push anybody into anything. Like, push them into like, oh, I think you should make this decision. This will be the best for you. It won't work. Oh, I really feel you need. No. Now's the time to take all that energy emotionally and put it into yourself. Self-care. Look after yourself, take care of yourself, and just focus on the decisions that you've made previously and what you're working on now. But now would not be the time to emotionally tell someone, I feel you need to, you should, you got to, I think you really need to. This is the time. That's that power game. And once you do that, and Pluto starts feeling that power struggle, and because of Venus being Capricorn, Pluto's in Capricorn, he's going to want to end things. So you don't want to end things because basically are on a power trip. And it's easy. Sometimes we feel we love people and we want to help them to the point that we want to push them in a certain direction because we know what is good for them. Pray for them, or, light some incense, but don't be verbally combative trying to now get someone to be where you want them to be. And in the same way, don't accept that for yourself. This is your emotional journey that you are going through during this Venus retrograde. So take your time, be gentle with yourself, and don't rush nothing. You don't need to rush. When we're talking about earth sign energy, it's not about rushing. It's about one break at a time is going to build something steady. Anything that's basically going to be built on shaky ground is an illusion, is a fantasy, will come to light. And we want things that are real, solid. And that takes time, because when it comes to Capricorn energy, it means taking time. So take time with yourself. Let it go and just protect your energy, ground yourself, meditate, do the things that make you feel good, watch a good movie, do something to make you feel inspired, paint, do something to connect to your heart, because it's almost like you feel during a Venus retrograde a certain disconnect where we feel a bit like, I feel like I need to review some things in my life. Go with it. Journal is so important. Shadow work is so important. So take the time to do all those things. But remember, no pushing and don't be pushed. Just take your time. Take your time like an odd sign takes its time. Wishing you so much love. Do like and subscribe. My website's linked down below if you'd like a reading, as well as a link for appreciation of these videos.